Yo, what is up, guys? Thank you so much for jumping into this video today. This is the very first podcast that I'm participating in. I got my boys helping me out today. I got Ian Brown and Brandon Lutz going hard in this video today. So how you guys doing today? How are y'all feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, man. How about you, Ian?
Doing great, man. Ready to talk.
Hell yeah, it's sick. So, like the title's gonna say, like you guys have been hearing, this is the very first like amateur podcast that we're gonna be doing. Just talking about a little bit of it that, you know, we're just giving it like a little voice. Like the little guys need something to talk about every now and then. Let's stop talking about the big dudes and let's talk about us. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a little bit of attention on us. But one of the first things I want to get jumping into, and it really caught my attention this morning. I saw MLG tweeted it out. And I think it's pretty freaking crazy, but the 76ers actually picked up two League of Legends esports teams. One of them was... I actually can't remember what one of them was. What was one of them?
It was Dignitas, I believe. Yeah, Dignitas. And
another one was started with an A, right?
Apex.
Yeah,
Apex.
And
Yeah.
then also today, freaking Team Liquid was picked up by... They were picked up by Magic Johnson, the Warriors, and Wizards owner. That's pretty crazy. That's like a huge step for like esports as a whole, and a good step for Call of Duty as well, because that's gonna help us out.
No, I think this is a step in the right direction, and you know, especially for esports, dude. Like, it's just I don't know. We definitely are not taken seriously by anybody else who's outside of the community. Definitely not. I mean, sometimes for good reason, you know. Especially the COD community, it's just we're not taken seriously at all.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like just like you guys are saying, like we're going in the right direction. And it's really big just because like the 76ers are a professional team. It's the NBA. Everyone knows who the NBA, what the NBA is. Everyone knows what the NHL, NFL, all that stuff. I could go on and on and on. Not everybody knows what professional esports are. I mean, this is like one of the first steps to take it to making it a national world, and not saying that, you know, it's not already on that level, but it's just going to be bringing some more mainstream spotlight to the esports community and like things that they're going to be able to do. And I really think it's just going to like blow up for us, you know, like they already have, I can't remember exactly what game, but it's on ESPN sometimes and it's streamed. Was it StarCraft? I don't know.
I think it maybe Dota 2, maybe.
I think that's what it was. I don't know. I remember seeing on the ESPN, like, Shaq went over and was, like, getting into an argument with one of the computer players. I can't even remember who it was, but I remember seeing that on ESPN. But it's just crazy, like, to think about how far we've come, you know, from a little $8,000 grand prize tournament to we just had a $2.2 million prize pool for Call of Duty, and it goes even more and more in, like, CSGO and other games like that. So it's pretty exciting for me.
Well, it's just really, you know, like, there's just the same amount of people who like sports, the same amount of people who like playing video games. Like, you think games, like, if you're a normal person, you just think, oh, you know, just teenagers or, like, kids that are just playing games. Nah, there's so much people who play video games. So much people. It's probably the same amount of people who play sports. It's just, you know, it was just a matter of time, honestly.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I honestly agree. But like it's just. I just wish it would have been like a COD esports team, like an organization that controls like maybe like Cloud9. I mean, they're big in League of Legends as well. It'd been more beneficial for the COD community if they got picked up, because that would shine some light on COD. Because C9 is into it, along with complexity.
Yeah, I see what you mean on that one. I just think the only reason, I think why they picked up a League of Legends team is just because their prize pools are so much bigger. I just think like that was a like a business type of move, you know? Like, isn't League of Legends, like, some of their prize pools, like, $22 million?
I agree, but, like, C9 is a League of Legends team as well. Like, they're really probably one of the top two teams right now.
Oh,
like,
you're just saying pick up that organization and then...
because that organization would shine light on to COD. Like,
okay.
Actually, I believe that Dota 2 actually has the biggest tournament. I think they have one or two tournaments, like, every year. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they had one on a cruise ship. They had one on a fucking cruise ship for Dota 2. That's insane.
That is pretty disgusting.
They have so much more funding than COD does. So, like, as of right now, I really hope that with PlayStation releasing a new like controller system, I believe that should really help, because I mean, it's just that this year was a big risk. Like, it was like do we really want to have competitive COD esports on consoles that barely work, and we have to use a outside product away from Sony to like basically play it competitively? So that probably just like put a little unease onto COD so far, but then with this new controller, hopefully that fixes everything.
Mhm.
Yes, because they actually didn't hold an event for like how long? Like it was like a whole gap between the year, and then out of that gap, it was just event after event after event. Like let's say Anaheim, Orlando, and then there's another coming up, which is very strange to me. But
Yeah,
there was just a huge gap in between the game that no one just wanted to play because there was no events to go to.
yeah, it's crazy, dude. I just looked it up. The largest pool for Dota this year was $20,770,640. That is so much money, dude. That is insane.
I remember last year there was a 16-year-old that got like he didn't even get first place. He got a certain placement and he was literally an instant millionaire. A 16-year-old instant millionaire.
Yeah,
That is
insane.
honestly insane. Yo,
that's life-changing money right there. Like, dude, winning $1 million is a life-changing event. Winning $100,000 is life-changing.
100,000, yeah, exactly.
oh, dude, like that's just I'd like just to win. Winning is just a great experience. Then getting first place, it's like I'm more excited about that than the money, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely the experiences. And like after seeing like where Call of Duty took on like where it was sitting there and how big it was on Call of Duty XP, it was just like, and I think the biggest thing right now is like Activision acquiring MLG. So like I feel like that sets up Call of Duty for success because Activision obviously owns the Call of Duty franchise. So that means that Call of Duty is always now going to have a hand in esports, competitions.
And that I believe that could build a bridge to like basically be on TV as well. Because like if you think about it, like if they acquire MLG, they have a full casting crew. They have like a full you got Puckett and everything. It's just I just think that would be really beneficial because it could open the gate to like they'll probably get paid more for
No,
people that cast
Activision-
and everything like that.
Activision already acquired MLG. They already bought them out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Activision bought
That's
MLG
good.
at like the beginning of the year. I'm pretty sure.
You said okay. I actually disagree with you saying it's a good thing because well maybe for the pros it's a good thing, but if you look at it at just the community standpoint, when they acquired MLG and competitive COD, they did say that it would be so much easier for AMs. They said they do the Challenger division and the AMs shit, and look, they never did it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think they'll work on improving that next year. I think they've gotten a lot of feedback from this year. I think it was just a new start for them, basically going through this, like a whole league and everything, trying to learn all that. So they had other primary focuses, which is to make a good atmosphere for the pros, which in a way they didn't really succeed that well. I mean, it was great once you got in the league, you know what I mean? But there's some pros that got out. So that's where they're trying to fix it this year, I believe. I mean, it was just a new start for them, man. That's all I think about.
Yeah, it was just anything new with anyone, and especially with a multi-million-dollar organization like Activision. Like, it's a learning process for them. Like, it's kind of like whenever you have a good idea, and like I'll just put it in perspective in the army. Like, if you were a lower-ranked soldier and you had a good idea, like a higher rank, like an officer or someone could take that idea and be like, yeah, we're going to use it, but they put their own spin to it, and it may not be what has been working. It may, in their brain, is something that they think can make that idea better. And I feel like that's what Activision did this year, is they were like, man, this esport is growing, so let's take it, but do what we think is going to make the game better. And like you said, it was just a learning process for them. This is year one for Activision, for big esports, and I just think like next year I feel like they're gonna take in, learn from their mistakes, because even pros were complaining about like season one was insane. Like there were so many, it was just a joke. Like and that was like what pros were saying, like getting disqualified from things, getting fined or losing matches for things they tweeted on Twitter. So, like you said, it's just like a learning process for them, and they're going to learn. And I feel like it's really going to be a good deal next year with IW. So,
yeah, I think they're just really trying to make a more scene when they're getting they're just trying to teach a lesson. Like if you're trash talking on Twitter, it makes them look bad. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
So it's just, I think they do it for a learning experience. I do think it's fucked up giving them a loss though, and it basically I think it fucked up a whole thing. think their loss helped another team get in and bounced another team out.
Yeah.
I think it was Elevate that was affected by it.
Do you even remember what they said? Wasn't it Crim6 and Formal that tweeted something?
No, it was Crim and it was just Crim.
I think it was Karma.
Yeah, Crim and Karma. Yep.
What did they say? I honestly never saw what they said. I just remember
I think it said something about it being a joke.
Yeah, it was just the match was a joke and everything like that, and just it was a pointless playing.
Yeah.
And, it was some negative DMs, I believe, that went through Crim6 and the basically I think one of the refs. I don't know what it was, but I think that he got in trouble with his DMs as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal. Like, I'll put it like this: like, I played in season, like when the season 1 qualifier happened. Like, this sounds really shitty, and I may get like some backlash for it, but I really don't care. So we made it all the way to round 7, I think. But our round 6 match was against I can't remember who it was. Honestly, I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look at my account. But it was against 2 pros. And I don't know if you guys remember that they changed the rules halfway through the tournament, like one of the rules, and I can't remember what it was, but we ended up having to replay the match, and we lost the first map, and we had to replay that map. We ended up winning, and then we lost the second and ended up beating them 3-1, and they were freaking out on Twitter. But that's just to show like the learning thing. Like, how are you going to change the rules halfway through your season 1 qualifier, you know?
That is very fucked up.
Yeah. And it is fucked up. I mean, I didn't care at the moment. I was so excited because, I mean, they beat our ass the first map. Destroyed us. And I don't know how we beat them when we replayed the map. But I was just like, thank God. Got to round 7 and then got smashed on. So, but it was still a good deal. But let's think of so what are you guys thinking about UMG Orlando? Like, I hear, like we saw the thing with Crim6 talking to Parasite, Mirix, and Aquila saying like, hey, let's team for Orlando. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? You think people are just going there as like, hey, let's play a pickup game of basketball and let's go see what we can do? Or like, are people not taking it as serious? What's going on? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, okay, the AMP community, there's so much people, and I don't want to sound too disrespectful, but there's so much people, so much teams that are going that it's just a waste of time. They know in their heads that they're not going to place anywhere near T16 or even, T20 for that matter, but they're still going. I just think most people are going just for fun in the AMP community. Pro community, yes, same thing for fun, but they do know if they go, they're still going to place in the money. So it's just free money right there. So going for fun just for them, they're still probably going to place very well. So I think it's
definitely. Do you think that some teams are going just to try out new team options for the next game?
AM-wise or pro-wise?
I mean, both ways, because, like, I put it like this. I look at as many, like, pro teams as I can. I'll watch vlogs, whatever, of whoever it's on. But, like, Formal has not played once and hasn't talked to anyone on the Optic team since they lost champs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Hex spoke to him the other day about going to play, and he just doesn't want to play. Like, he doesn't. They said he was taking losing hard. But, like, that's really weird for you not to, like, talk to your dudes. And he said he doesn't want to go to Orlando. Him and Scump said they don't want to go to Orlando. I mean, Karma and
no, Scump really wanted to go. Scump was the first one that. Really
okay, so it was Formal and Karma that said they didn't want to go. Then
no, it was just Formal. I think Scump was like first one to like really bring it up, and then I think he was on the fence about it. Just, one of the visions.
Yeah, I saw the vlog where Hex was like, so if we go to Orlando and we win, we're going to get backlash and be like, so you win Orlando, but you can't win COD XP. It doesn't even matter that you guys are winning this. I can see where they're coming from, Just,
I mean, being considered the most, the best team in the COD sport, going to COD XP, and then placing 7th like they did last year. Basically, it was basically the same setup, right? Mm-hmm. The same stuff happened. But yeah, like, losing like that would be hard on some people, especially Formal, because he played very, very well. Same thing with Scump. It's just, it would probably be a very like big.
Your mic keeps cutting out really hard.
Big down.
Like we didn't hear you for like the past 4 seconds. Just so you know.
What was the last thing you heard?
You said Formal played really well, and that was it. And then you're just like,
I think you just move the mic away from your mouth a little bit.
yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Speak a little
It's
bit
weird.
softer.
Your mic just
Well,
like
anyways,
cut. Your mic's
I
just
said
cutting out.
it must be a big downer for him because he's part of the the best team they were expected to win again for the second year in a row, and it didn't happen. You know,
Definitely.
and that must just suck so bad. That must suck just so bad, and he's probably taking a toll on him. He's probably thinking, "We're never gonna win this, dude."
Was he even on the team last year? I thought it was Nate Shot instead of him last year.
No, it was Nation.
No. Nation instead of Karma.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Formo. I mean, it's just like Formo really performed well, and he just. I mean, I really personally think Krim had a really bad event, in my opinion.
He did.
I think Karma had a bad first day, but then second day he was playing really well. Besides that dart play, which was, I don't know, that was mind blowing. He should have gotten out of that damn dart. He could have killed JCab right in front of him.
I actually,
and that was off the return.
I really regret saying that this is gonna be Karma. Like I tweeted before the event happened, I said this is gonna be Karma's best event. Just watch, and then it was one of his worst, in my opinion. Like he's the player that they count on to make the huge fucking plays. Like I consider him the best player in the game, just because of like how he plays and he knows how to win. Same thing with fucking Krim, but both of them not performing. Obvious 7th place happening. They just can't win.
I just feel like they're like the two clutchers on the team. They make the big plays, but you got Formal and Scumpy slaying out. It's just, I don't know, man. I just feel like they should have placed better, but that whole thing was just like I can see how that's demoralizing to them, especially when they wanted to be known as the like best team to ever play the game, and that would have solidified that if they would have won that. I think that's why they're so hard on it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Like, do you think them going in there and everyone just being like, "You're gonna win COD champs"? Do you think maybe, just maybe, it got to their head a little bit? Like, you know what? Hey, we're playing this pickup team of Aches and Lacefield. Like, we're about to kill these kids. Whatever we lost to Envy, we're about to run through here. Do you think like they just may have went into those loser bracket games with the wrong mentality because they came off of a 3-0 sweep, 2 3-0 sweeps, I think, right? Or was it just one? They played Infused and 3-0'd them. I don't know if they had another game before the Lacefield and Aches game.
Yeah, they did. They 3-0'd Luminosity. So they had 2
Luminosity, 2 3-0 sweeps.
The historically best EU, I wouldn't say the best EU team, but one of the top 3, and then be able to 3-0 them. When Infused was like the team that gave them the hardest challenge out of any EU team so far, and then it's just oh man, go ahead.
When you ask, like when you're asking us if it got to their head, like if they're being nervous, to it feels it in the pit of their stomach, like dude. They everyone thinks we're gonna win. If we don't win, it's gonna be horrible, and that's exactly what happened. Both events, they were expected to win, and they came up short. And I think going to the biggest event with all that money, that's so much pressure on you. That is so much pressure on you. You're playing not only the best American teams around the world, and it's just the brackets are set up so good to where. It's just so much pressure to be put on you, dude. It must be impossible almost.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. And I also think it's like I think there was a statement too, like for all teams, like, hey, look, this pickup team beat the #1 team in Call of Duty, beat them pretty well too. Yeah, it went to game 5, but still, like the games they were winning, they won pretty definitively. Yeah.
I mean, they didn't drop a single hard point in the map. That I think. Where they also fuck up at is like they just did not grind S&D enough. I think if them as a team going into IW, if they grinded S&D more than they did, not more, but put like at least 20% more time into it, and just work on your S&D and shit, I think they would be a really good team. I think they just over practiced hardpoint, and then they came up short in the game modes. They thought that they basically had, like a full I guess full advantage over every other team, and it just sucks because they just didn't practice well. I think that will also help them a lot because when you're in those high pressure scenarios, you always go back to like how you practice because you're adrenaline rushing, so it's all about habit to that point.
So what do you guys like? Enough talking about the optic deal and everything. let's move on to our amateur community, the community that we are in as a whole together. So I want to hit on something that like everyone loves / hates to talk about, because some people talk about it, then they do it. So what do you think like the biggest downfall of this amateur community is? Because if you look at other amateur communities, like look at CSGO's amateur community, Halo's amateur community, and League of Legends amateur community, it is just on a different spectrum than what the amateur Call of Duty is. I mean, I see so many other teams and players that are not pros in other games that all they do is like uplift each other, motivate, and like try to get better together. And then you like look at the Call of Duty thing, and it's like someone places top 60 and they're just like, bro, I'm one of the best in the AM community. Like, yeah, I placed top 60 because my team did bad. You know, that's like one thing I really see people like tweet about, like, oh, I got my placing because my team did bad. Oh, I did this because so-and-so did bad. Like, that's what people don't understand. Like, it's a whole, like, team event. So, like, what are you thinking, like, our downfall is that keeps us back from moving forward as a whole?
Well, okay. There's just a bunch of it's egotistical. The whole community is filled with egotistical children. And just because it's 18 plus doesn't mean there's children. You can be a child when you're 40. There's the lack of maturity in the community is insane, because God, I don't know, it's just it might have to do with like the pace of the community. Like everyone who plays, they blame it on someone else if they lose. They blame, the controller. They blame the lag, everything else besides what they're doing wrong. And I think that kind of ignorance is just fucks with us. Like when you look at the Halo community, the AM community, it's really not, it's just a circle of the actual pros that have been there since like Halo 3. There's not really any AMs that get through besides like 2 or 3 every fucking year, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But COD, how much AMs have become pro in the last 2 years? Let's say like what, 3, maybe 4?
I don't even know. I didn't see any become pro this year, besides I guess you would say Panda Gaming technically. But weren't they all like pros? Wasn't it like, I don't even know. I guess season one counts as pros, and I know Panda Gaming was like some weird ass players. So I guess those 4 was the only like team that I saw step into the pro community. I don't know about Advanced Warfare. I didn't even look at Call of Duty. Like I had know nothing until this game. So,
well, when you think about the AM community, like trying to get better and getting that pro status, it all comes down to everyone's behavior and vibes mixing well, and that just really doesn't happen in AM community in COD, because, like I said, egos and just delusional confidence from everyone, and just problems. Like every team that does bad, like I said before, they blame it on someone else. They blame it on lag. They never go to theater and look up, all right, so this is what we did wrong. All they want to do is all right, kick this kid from the call, let's find someone else as our 4th, or let's find someone else as our 3rd. No one wants to fix problems. They just want to find the best players possible immediately and try to get a good team right off the bat. They don't want to work. So everyone in the COD community have a bad name. They have a bad name, and it's just, I don't know. I think everyone is just trying to fight each other instead of lifting each other up.
So what about this? So obviously, like you said, people make excuses for things. Do you think maybe the game has a little bit to do with it? Because think about this. So look at League of Legends. There's nothing that you can blame the game of League of Legends on. You can't say lag. You can't say my key didn't hit. You can't say, you can talk about your keyboard, but not really. Everyone uses the same keyboard and mouse in League of Legends, and nothing goes wrong with that. So, and you don't see that in that community. Do you think maybe it might as well be the game, because there is lag? There is such a big difference when you're coast to coast, and things of that sort. There are broken, they got to figure out halfway through the game. Every 4 weeks, there's an update coming up, buffing this gun, nerfing this gun, making you jump higher, slide slower,
Actually a good question, because every single year, halfway through the year, they change the game completely. They buff something crazy, they something different. They change like certain mechanics of the game that change the game completely, dude. And it's just like you have to learn a new game every single year, and the same game you have to learn twice a year, which is insane. People who play League of Legends or Counter-Strike, they play the same shit. Us, we had to keep adapting, and it's kind of hard on us. So, that's probably one of the biggest things.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's honestly what you just said is a great point. Like, you have to learn the same game every year, twice a year. That, like, honestly, that is the truth right there. Like, you literally do have to learn. Like, Black Ops 3 changed so much from last November to now. Like, insane.
Yeah, and then AW.
I mean, it's still the same basis of a game, though. Like, it's still the same basis. There's not much you have to learn.
Just different things, like, I mean, for AW, it's all battles, all 4 battles, and then the ASM1 and battles, and then, like, fucking roles changed, like, ways of the game were changed, and then middle Ghosts, you had at the beginning of Ghosts, you had the IMTAR, which was the best sub, and then in the middle of it, they had, like, crazy buffs, and then the Vector became, like, an AR sub. It was fucking insane. It changed the game so much, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest change, to be honest.
And then, do you remember the Bison change? They actually buffed a gun called the Bison. That shit was like, it was like a chainsaw.
It was a delete button.
That was so fucking good.
You had great
It was a delete button.
It was, bro. I literally 2-bullet kids, bro, mid range. I'd be like,
That's insane. Like, and
it was like the Vesper on steroids at this point, bro.
dude, like, they changed the spray pattern of the Vesper. They changed the 4 and 5 hit points. I mean, of the VMP. They changed the spray pattern of the VMP. They changed the 4 and 5 hit points for the VMP. They changed the M8 stability. They changed the hip fire rate. Like, they're just like, is it like, is there ever going to be a game where they're like, the game is like this, it's going to be balanced like that, and it's going to stay that way for the rest of the game, Like, League of Legends does, like, and I just keep going back to League of Legends. Like, that does happen every now and then. Like, champions, and they find combinations where they're like, oh my god, you can't fucking kill this person. Like, I remember, like, I play Yi, and I remember when they were like, you can't fucking kill Yi after this, and this, and they fucking nerfed him. Like, yeah, so I understand, but I mean, it's just, I'm just tired of, like, all the drastic changes every time I play a video game.
Honestly, it is the community in the game that always changes, because everyone in the AM community and the pro community, every time when the game comes out, they have something to bitch about. They have something to cry about.
Yeah. You just gotta appreciate it.
And then they actually listen once. They listen, and they're like, all right, you don't like the game, we'll fucking change it. So they change it, and you have to adapt to a whole new game. And sometimes they don't like it. Sometimes people don't like it. But, it's our fault, I think, because we keep fucking complaining. Just play the game, just play the game, and I'm sure it'll stay the same. Get used to it and play it the whole year throughout, and I'm sure it'll be easier.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I think is, back on that one topic about, I think one thing that's really hurting the AM community is if you watch Pro 8s, they're going hard as fuck. I mean, ever since UMG wagers come out, nobody wants to try unless there's fucking money on the line. No one. And if you go into an 8s, like if you go into free 8s, what it should be a competitive play. You should be trying to prove you're the best. You should be communicating with your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
And it creates bad habits going into these teams, because if you play a lot of 8s, you're not calling out much, right? If you're just sitting there just dead as fuck, and then you switch to a team scrim, and all of a sudden you're trying to get called, and it's creating bad habits for you. Yep. You're not going with your team as much. You're not going. You're playing by yourself more. It's just it's totally bad. It creates bad habits, and just the amount of toxicity in this community. It's all been brought up from the past, where you were playing for low amount of money. All that mattered is if you're the best, and all those egos brought up. And you watch the pros, and that's how they acted. Yeah, you always hear pros, I'm the best, and all that stuff. There's no humble to it. I mean, there's only few pros that you can say that are actually really humble. Like one being like John Formal. You know what I mean? It's just a very humble sitting. And I just think that if the whole community just had a more positive vibe to it all the time, instead of complaining about something, it would just uplift the community so much and make it so much more professional. But that's my opinion.
I just think it's the speed of the game and the vibes that it brings. Like, all right, it's fast paced. It's really fast paced. You play a fast paced game. You need to be energized. You need to be, you have energy. And then when you have energy, when you get mad, you get really mad. When you get happy, you get really happy. So when you get really happy, what do? You say, I'm the fucking best, because you're in the mood. And when you're mad, you start complaining. You start shit talking. But when it's a slower paced game, you don't have that much energy. You're just playing. You're focusing on your gameplay. And I think that has a big impact on how we look.
I don't know, like, thinking about that, like, you saying, like, high pace, like, slow pace, whatever, like, in my opinion, like, coming, like I talk about all the fucking time, drum roll. Like coming back from playing in Black Ops 1 and 2, like, you know, to now, yeah, that seems like a slow game, but in the moment, that was not. It wasn't slow. The energy was still there. It was just the dedication of other players. Like I could go into eights and we would, dude, it would get so insane. Like you would have two team captains, they would pick their teams and they would play as hard as they could. You know what I mean? Like we would go so hard. You know, this is before like Embos was a pro, before John and Buck and all them were pros, and fucking Fastball and all those dudes, like Juggernometry when he was in his prime. Like, dude, we used to play and just balls of the wall. Like we would try so hard. And now like I'm playing eights, I'm not even in a party. Or I'm in a party bullshitting with somebody and just hanging out and we're playing. And you can't play like you usually would in a scrim because it's just pointless. No, you know, hard points. Nobody gets in the hill because they're afraid that at the end of the game, someone's going to take a picture of the fucking scoreboard, go to Twitter, at them, and tweet it out. And it's just, dude, that's so fucking embarrassing, dude. Like, for people to do that shit like that. And, you know, like you said, you said, you know, you can be 18 or above and be a child. Like, it's so fucking sad that someone 18 years or older does shit like that. That's like, oh, look what this person did while we were practicing. That's like being at football practice in the NFL and someone being like, oh, Des Bryant dropped all his fucking catches today. He's trash. Like, come on, dude.
Exactly.
Really? Are you fucking,
Exactly.
like, practice is where you get better. Like, don't make other people afraid to try and get better, to try new things because they're afraid someone's going to put them on blast for it. Like, it's ridiculous. We should be able to just practice and get better at, you know, as, like, with each other and not have to worry about stupid shit happening. It's just, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. And those people that do that shit are going to be doing that same shit in Infinite Warfare. They will be in the same fucking position they are right now. And that's like one of the things that like fires me up and I get really passionate about talking. And I cannot wait for those people and for me to say, I told you so when they're in the same spot they are in this game.
You know, and that goes back to the point where like posting scoreboards and shit, like people don't play eights or anything. Like, you know how they used to be pride eights, right? You play eights, you go as hard as you can, and that's just for you. You know what I mean? That's just for you. You're getting better, and you're feeling nice. That's for you. No one goes hard in it. They just kill horror. They run around the map. They do nothing besides, you know, like you just said, posting scoreboards, which is very stupid. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
No.
It's just we all should be uplifting each other. You know, we're all in the same boat.
Yep.
We're all trying to get to the same, you know, destination. You shouldn't be trying to drag people down with you if you know, if you're insecure about your own gun skill and shit.
Yeah.
If you need recognition.
No. You know, you shouldn't be like, there's just so many like things that it's just changed a lot, you know. If someone does bad at an event, you know, don't sit there and be like, don't see someone that, hey, I'm a team of two with so and so. Like, there's been plenty of times that I've got DMs before earlier in the game when I was trying to go to events, and then someone would DM me and be like, bro, don't go with that person, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not going to say any names, but I mean, there's been like countless people who like still talk like they're the best. And they're just like, I'm getting pictures on them from the event. Like, people taking pictures of their scoreboards from Anaheim and sending it and be like, bro, don't team with that person. Don't be a team of two. Like, what? Why would you do that? Why would you go out of your way to try and like drag someone through the mud? Doesn't make any sense to me, you know? But it's whatever. Well, they'll have to learn eventually, right? Everyone learns, some people don't, and those people get weeded out of the community. But yeah. So, last but not least, the last topic we're going to be speaking about is Infinite Warfare and Call of Duty 4 Remastered. What are you guys thinking is going to be happening with those two games? Like, what are you know, I want to hear like competitive level for IW. What do you think is going to be happening with COD 4? All the tournaments on UMG. Do you think they're going to be doing like little throwback tournaments? What's going on?
I mean, I think they might feature it at an event just to have a little fun thing, but I really can't see them really like going back to the COD 4 area. They might have like online tournaments still going on, but I just really can't see them holding an event for it. It'd just be silly in my opinion. me myself, I'm not even gonna be playing COD 4. I'm not gonna touch that game until I get to the point where I want to be at in the in this community. It's just I don't know, man. I don't even think I think people feel very weird going back to a slow paced COD. Anyways, I really think that a lot of these younger players that are so used to this fast paced game now are just gonna be turned off by it at this point. Because in all honesty, these games that are coming out now, whether people want to like it or not, they are better games. They're on a newer system, and they do a lot more things. You can do a lot more shit in this game than you can in COD 4. And it might be the simplicity of COD 4 that turns people onto it. But really, was there any really other competitive game modes besides Search? I mean, you had Domination, which even in Ghost was trash. You had, I don't even know if you had CTF in the game.
No, it was Sabotage, Domination, and Search and Destroy.
Sabotage was AIDS. I'm sorry, I played that back in MW2 GBs, and that was just AIDS.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's the same thing as Demolition. That's all it is.
They're actually I don't think they're ever going to actually feature COD 4 in competitive, because here's why: it's ran by Activision, and what do Activision want to showcase? They want to showcase their new game. They want to showcase everything that it comes with, because that's their shit. They don't want to showcase an old game. It's just there for fun. I'm sure they're going to hold some tournaments online, like you said, but as LAN, I don't think so, unless IW is just completely trash and everyone hates it. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah, I see the same thing. Just like, and I don't even know, like, I don't even know what's gonna. Do you think like they're doing this game because they know the Call of Duties are getting less and less enjoyable? Because like, think of it like this, like, so let's think 2 years from now. How are they gonna continuously progress the game? What is next after this movement system? Like, are they going to pull a Battlefield? Are they going to pull a Battlefield and go way back in time? I don't think they'll do that. But are they just going to continue to like, what the fuck's the next thing? Like, am I going to be able to teleport around the map next? Is it going to be like Destiny, where you got a Warlock and a Hunter and a goddamn Titan? Like, what's going to keep happening of Call of Duty?
When you look at IW, it looks a lot like Destiny, doesn't it? Like with the new one, it looks a lot like Destiny, like the health bar and everything. It looks crazy. But no, the reason they're doing the COD 4 remaster, it's been 10 years, right, since its release?
Mm-hmm.
About, yeah, that's why. But going forward, I think the movement, I don't know. I think they're gonna like every game they're gonna just switch it back around, because these movement systems, they're like, what else can you really do? What can you really do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I eventually, in my opinion, so, like, what I honestly, truthfully think is the game after this, there won't be boosting anymore. Because, like, you have so many people talking about no more boosting. Like, even pros hate it.
Yep.
Like, Scump has talked about, all of Octic has talked about how dumb the movement system is. I've seen FaZe, I've seen Envy, and Envy won COD XP, and I've seen them talk about the movement system, And it's just like, are you gonna listen to your consumers and the competitors, or are you going to continue, like I said before, being the big business and thinking you know everything and continuing to go in the direction that you want to go in?
Well, actually, I believe that they were already in production or whatever, what have you, with IW when everyone was talking shit about AW, and they didn't like the movement system, and Black Ops 3 was probably already made.
Mm-hmm.
So I also heard that this is going to be the last futuristic COD that they're going to make.
I hope so, man, because I'm getting tired of it.
I also do hope so, because it's kind of annoying, all this like fake shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Call of Duty was never really about that. Like Black Ops 2, that was the first futuristic one, right? And it was fine because you were following a storyline. But this, I don't even have any interest to play the campaign like at all. The guns, everything. When you shoot a gun in this game, it sounds so weak. It does not sound like, okay, go to COD. World at War or Modern Warfare 3, shoot a gun. It sounds so powerful when you shoot it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This game, shoot a fucking VMP. It sounds like you're shooting an airsoft.
Yeah, it does. That's very true.
It does sound weak.
I think another thing with COD, dude, is if you made it, I think it'd be interesting to see a COD with like more hit points. Like it takes a little bit more longer to kill someone. Like I'd love to see that. Like not to the point where Halo is, but like.
Mm-hmm.
But like just more bullets to kill. I think that would like create even a more skill gap for those players that have amazing gun skill and that have good potential and that can make it up into the pro scene just by their shot, and then learn the game from them. Because honestly, most of the AMs that make it to pro level, they team with like a pro, like Dito or something like that, and they climb the ladder that way. They end up having like some retired pro, and they teach them the game, help them through the game, and basically it takes these high gun skill players and then puts them into the pro scene. I just would really like to see that. I think it'd be an interesting point.
I don't know, like more health. Because people already complain now. Like you already hear the what? I hit him in the head. I shot him 5 times. Like you already hear that through the game so much now. Like, could you imagine if you gave people like more health, like the insanity that would ensue? Like it. I don't know about I mean, it's a good thought, but I would honestly probably hang up the sticks if that happened.
I mean, look at Halo. Look at Halo. You have a shit ton of health, dude, and people always complain always. Well, I mean, they don't have a shit ton of health. They just have a shit ton of shields, and then afterwards, anyways, not really that point.
Yeah. That's something that's how that game's always been, though. Like, this game has always pretty much been the same, melting.
Actually, different COD, it calls for different bullets, hitting somebody to kill them. That's actually really annoying. Ghost, you hit someone with 2 bullets, they're done. They're donezo.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I never played Ghost, but I heard, like, you could melt people in Ghost.
Yeah, it's just, like, inconsistent with the bullshit. And then the middle of the game, they buff or they nerf something, and it makes it even more complicated, confusing. That's what really is annoying. It's really annoying to get used to the same game over and over again. And I don't know. I think coming out with a COD every single fucking year is detrimental.
Mm-hmm. I think. Well, so I actually don't think it's that bad because look, they have so many. So you got Sledgehammer, Treyarch, and Infinity Ward. So and they put them all in rotation. So Treyarch's already started on their new game, obviously. So their game came out last year. They already did 1 year. They have 2 years. So they have another 2 years before their next game comes out. Infinity Ward's been working on Infinite Warfare for 3 years already. And then Sledgehammer, I don't know what the fuck they're going to come out with. Please, God, don't let it be Ghost 2 or I'm going to end my life.
Sledgehammer came out with a W. Infinity Ward came out with Ghost.
Oh, Infinity Ward came out with Ghost?
Uh-huh.
So, okay, so Sledgehammer was AW, Treyarch is Black Ops 3, and then it's Infinity Ward again.
Yep.
Wait, that doesn't make sense. So it's been Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Infinity Ward?
It's been Treyarch, Infinity Ward, the Sledgehammer game, which was a W. But what is funny is Infinity Ward, they made Ghosts, and then they set up for a sequel. And then the next game that was supposed to come out after Black Ops 3, I'm pretty sure, was supposed to be Ghost, but they scrapped it because all of the complaining. They literally scrapped the whole game because people didn't want it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same.
I think that too, yeah. I mean, I'm excited. The only thing that excites me a lot more is, like, I watch so much gameplay on IW already because, like you guys know, and I'm taking this shit insanely too serious. Sorry for the phone. But, and the movement system is a lot more deliberate in that game. Like how people were saying, like, you don't use it as much to move around the map as you do just to get higher on the map. Like, if you look at it, like, well, no, they already have gameplay. You can watch a whole bunch of gameplay videos.
All run around the map. I'm not saying really high. I'm talking about like how big movement is going to be in that game.
Yeah, true.
Once a pro, because you watch these fucking pub stars or whatever the Drifter and T Martin.
Well, I watched Nadeshot do it.
Noobs. I mean, I guess Nadeshot would be a good example, but if you watch, like, I don't know, I just feel like back when I watched Black Ops 3 things, it looked like nobody was jumping either. And then once pros got a hold of it, it was like the movement system was implied. Like people get to where they are because of the great movement, and they have to have a great shot.
Well, the movement's slower. If you saw how they jump, like watching the terminal and them jumping on top of Red, on top of a fucking gas tank, like it took him a long ass time to get up there. Like it was really fucking slow.
Well, okay, what I was gonna say was an AW. When people were watching Black Ops 3, there's people who kept saying like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to, you're not gonna use the movement as much in this game because like you don't need it to move around map, and we use literally almost the same and maybe even more movement on this game.
Mm-hmm.
People who are at a high level of gaming, they were going to use everything they planned to be better than the next person. Like, okay, let's say COD that didn't have boosting, you still jump shotted, right? You still drop shotted. That's
and
using
you
movement to your
strafed.
advantage. It's still going to happen. It's still going to happen no matter what movement system there is. You're still going to use it crazy to your ability.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited. The beta comes out when? October 10th?
I also like how it's going to be like a slower paced game too. Like I think that will really help because with these fast paced games, the spawns get fucked up because of it. Like it really happens sometimes where like so many people die and so many people are at different locations that you'll spawn so far like differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I've died multiple times in this game from just weird spawns, and it's like hard to manipulate spawns when that bullshit happens.
Well, I think they did that for a reason because I can tell you fucking like I played Anchor and I played AR all the way through, and in Black Ops 2, like I could spawn trap the fuck out of another team, and they would just spawn in the same corner. So I think that's why they do the whole like spawn across the map bullshit because figure getting fucking spawn trapped in Black Ops 3. There's only like 2 maps that I know, like certain spots where you can like literally spawn trap someone. In Fringe, when you're the hills on the first hill and you're fucking controlling like that grandma fucking world side or whatever people want to call it, fucking Peaches. Like they're either gonna spawn silos or Peaches, but that's like the only technical spawn trap you have. And then someone will spawn fucking back barn randomly. So I think that's why they do that.
You remember Slums, right? Slums, CTF on Black Ops 2. You remember that one spawn on one side on the car and the head glitch? You can literally just sit there, and their whole team would spawn right there. You can easily just pick them up every single time.
Exactly.
It was crazy, but like I don't know if you're good enough to set up against that. I think the other team should be
spawning in the same spot.
Huh?
Are you saying like it should be like kind of like a reward? Like you should be able to spawn trap them?
If you put them in that situation, if your team pushed out the right things and you did it correctly and you earned that spawn trap, that's fine. I think that's fine because you outplayed them. They should be good enough to actually learn how to get out of that spawn trap.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They need to earn their way out of it. That's how I think.
Yeah. Mm. I mean, we'll see how it goes, especially with fucking. I saw a goddamn laser gun. That's all that bothers me. I saw like a light submachine gun.
The rigs or specialists or whatever, they look totally overpowered. I mean, if you've seen
bro.
that crossbow thing that like shoots.
Bro, it was no. It wasn't a crossbow. It's like a fucking like a scorpion. Like it has 8 different barrels and they intertwine, and that's how they shoot. I thought it was a crossbow too. I was like, oh my god.
More OP than the Tempest, dude. Like I was like,
he was melting people with that. Yeah, fucking melting.
You could. That's definitely be using competitive. 100%.
But it's cool. Yeah, we'll see. Fucking.
The only thing that looked really silly to me that it just looked like just funny was the dog one. Just fucking.
Oh, where that dude started crawling.
That's just totally for pubs. That's not gonna
I was like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, that scared me when I was watching the fucking trailer. I was like, was that some fucking grudge shit right there? It was fucking nuts, dude. Gosh.
I actually have a good question for you guys. Do you guys want to see Bandit Protect come back in the next game?
I don't even know. I don't even have a yes or no. Because I feel like it brought like a chess match type of competitiveness to Call of Duty,
I think they need to have pre-bans then. I think that if they bring it back, in my opinion, I'll let you go over here in just a second, Reagan. But if they bring it back here, in my opinion, I think that they need to have pre-bans. Like high caliber and rapid fire, that should never make it into the game. They're two incredibly OP things. Like rapid fire doesn't even hurt your recoil in this game for the most part. If it just increases the pattern like speed.
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb that wasn't banned. Like yes, you can stun out stuns, frags, and even a team can protect frags or protect Semtexes then. Because if you get rid of those 2 fucking bans that are just worthless, then you can actually have an interesting game. And I don't mind banning out guns and everything, but when you have it really wasn't that bad because you had 3 dominant ARs. Like if you ban out M8, you should be able to. If you're a good enough player, you can use a Man of War. You can use a fucking HVK. It's just I just think they need those pre-bans in there that get rid of the automatic shit that's always banned, and when it's protected, it's hella frowned upon.
So people don't protect fucking rapid fire or high cal,
Yeah.
or ban quick draw or ban fast hands. Like, Jesus, man.
I think I don't want it to go to the next game because look at it now. Unless you're a fucking weirdo, every single team they ban the same thing every single game.
Yeah.
High caliber fire, overclock, stuns and concussion, shit like that. The basics. I think the next game should just be pre-bans, and I think it should be specialist draft.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Pre-bans and specialist draft. I think there should be like a consensus. Like they should, I think like after or maybe even before season 1, like do a little thing. Because they always do a tournament like the first week when the game comes out, and then after that have like a competitive community consensus or like a vote on things that should be banned and things that aren't played with. But then like once again, like fucking caveating what I just said, they always update the game and change things, because there may be a gun that melts that everyone says let's ban when Call of Duty's like, oh no, let's not ban it, we're just gonna come out with a patch, we'll update it, don't worry guys, so I don't know. I feel like it's a double-edged sword.
I think a perfect combination of pre-bans and a ban protect system would be best. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think yours would be the best solution, but I think it needs to be faster because like every single sitting there waiting for that shit. It's so I don't know. It has to be faster.
Hoping that person doesn't ban some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's the last ban. Is he gonna ban RC? No, he banned.
Also, it created another annoyance too, because there'll be times where players will leave during ban protect thinking that they can basically get back in time, and it's stressful sometimes. Like when your teammate isn't there and they're in their ban and protect, or they haven't picked their specialist yet, and you're just sitting there like, oh shit, now we gotta go through this whole fucking process again. Because of that bullshit. It's good. That's laziness by players, in my opinion. Like, you should be able to use the restroom before the match starts and everything like that. It's just a bad taking advantage thing.
You know what? Actually, I think I have an idea. A different ban protect system that I'm thinking about. Just one ban for each team, and it can be just any gun or any equipment, I think. Because there would be no annoyance.
Three bans each team.
Or two, or one. It doesn't, like, all I'm trying to say is, like...
Wait. You can do something like League... Oh, shit. But you can do something like League of Legends. You can, like, basically have, like, 3 protects and then 3 bans. So they can't ban your shit right now. Like, you get... Like, let's say each team gets, like... Not
one
3.
Protected, one ban.
3.
One protected, one ban.
I'd even go as far as to say 2. That would make it an 8-point system. Like, just like...
Yeah, that would be good. 2 and 2. Yeah. So four for each team, 2 protects on each team, 2 bans on each team.
Yeah, and you get to protect before the bans come out, so you can make sure your shit's in there.
Yeah.
Like that'd be a great. I think that'd work really well. I think this was just the beginning of the ban protect system. This is just the first rough draft, because you want to make it so a game can always improve. And I think that's what they're doing as well. Like, they're not gonna give everything into one game. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna like just go all out on it, because everything needs to steadily rise for them. They need to make as much money as they can from the pub players, from these pro players, and everything like that. And if we really want to see, like Ringy even said, or I don't know if it was you or Zeus that said, like, if we want a game that's coming out in let's say like every 2 years, then you make it a longer game. Well, that's going to require the esports community to grow huge. For them to be able to do that, you literally have to make it grow huge. You have 2 big tournaments at the end of the year. You have more viewers. You're going to have to be on TV for that, in my opinion.
Yeah, true. You would have to, because people get bored easily.
Television, I don't know about all that, because I think that streaming has gotten a lot bigger than television, if I'm being quite honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, they're starting to stream NFL games now.
At this point, I think that internet, shows, streams, things like that are bigger than television.
Because everybody's always on their phone and shit instead of sitting in front of a TV.
You're not bringing esports to the people who are just like playing, who just watch television, do nothing else. I mean, you're bringing it to people who know what the fuck they're doing, who have internet, who actually listen to the shit. That's what I'm thinking.
I dig it.
But I think bringing it to a TV will just like bring the other generations into it. Like, not like understanding it, but like they'll acknowledge it's a thing.
Right,
like my parents are still like, what the fuck? Like, You know,
Yeah.
like
They don't understand.
All right,
they don't understand.
tangents. We're going down the rabbit hole. Let's not go down the rabbit hole. But anyways, we're creeping up on that time. Anyways, we're about to hit that hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. But this was a sick ass podcast. I know I enjoyed it. What about you, Ian and Brandon?
I enjoyed it.
Heck yeah, man. Well, shoot, to all you guys that watched this video, from now on, this thing is going to be live. We're going to be streaming this. We're probably going to do it every Friday. I don't know the time yet. I will come out with a time. Don't hate on me and tweet me and tell me to, like, get shit together. But I'll get it figured out by this Friday. And then we'll start doing it weekly. We may have the same people on every podcast. You guys let us know what you want. New people, same people. Send us topics to talk about, and we will do it. I thank you guys so much for watching this video. Give these two guys a follow on Twitter. I'll have their Twitter links down in the description below because they helped this so much. They took some time out of the day to, give me some help, and I'm very thankful for that. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching the very first podcast, and we are out of here.
Peace.